Whether you love Microsoft Teams or find it frustrating, it's now become the go-to tool for collaboration in today's workplace. From quick chats with colleagues to full project workspaces, Teams does it all. But here's the thing, managing a project in Teams often feels harder than it should be. And that's why I put together this practical tutorial to help you build a team that is not only a place to store files, but a collaborative space for you and your team to do your best work. And today we're going to check out changes in how we create teams, secure a team to your team members, build channels to aid collaboration, and check out the latest on how to add Microsoft Planner Premium plans and more. So whether you're brand new to Teams or just curious about what's new and how it works, this tutorial is going to help you get Teams right. And if you find it useful, why not hit the subscribe button for weekly Microsoft 365 tutorials that make your work easier. So let's dive into Microsoft Teams and improve how we collaborate as a team. So you join me inside of Microsoft Teams, and the best way to get started is of course creating a Microsoft team for one of our projects. To do that, it's really simple. Go to the top of your Microsoft Teams window and you'll see a New Items button. Left click in this and you'll see a range of different types of content you can create. New Teams messages, new channels, new storyline posts. We're going to go ahead and select New Team. At this point, you can now begin to give your team a name, but templates can also make it easier when using Teams for projects and other elements too. By selecting more Create Team options, you'll be taken to a range of templates that Microsoft have provided. Selecting one of these here, you'll see it comes with predetermined channels and apps for you to work with. They're a great way to get started with Teams if you're a little bit unsure about how to use channels and apps. But in this tutorial, we're going to go and create it from scratch with no pre-configured apps or channels, as we'll build those out together. To do that, I'll go ahead and close this dialog and then return back to our new option to create a new team. We'll now give the team a name and a description to let people know what this team is all about. With that now done, we can also decide about the security of our team. Should it be private or should it be public? By left clicking this button here, you can now go ahead and select your option. A private team means that people need permission to join. They can't freely join unless someone invites them into the team, being the team owner. A public team means anyone in your company can join the team without any type of approval. Now there may be scenarios where public teams work quite well, maybe planning an office event such as a party, but in most cases of project we're going to leave it as private, ensuring only relevant people can join the Microsoft team with the approval of team owners. We can now also decide on the first channel. Now this is a change from Teams in the past. It always came with a channel called General, but no longer does it do that. It now gives you the option to name the channel of anything of your choice. At the moment, the word General is not allowed to be used, but there are changes in Microsoft Teams to also re-enable that word. But I'm going to go ahead and name my first channel accordingly. With that now done, I'm going to go ahead and select the Create button, and our new Microsoft team will be created for us. At this point, we can also begin adding people into our Microsoft team. A Microsoft team is not very handy without people and colleagues within it. What I'm now going to do is add in Alex, one of my additional project managers. He also needs to get involved with the setup as well. So let's go and type his name or an email address into this dialog, and you'll see it will search for Alex and find him here. By left clicking Alex's name, we can now decide if he should be a member or an owner. Remembering that owners have higher level of control. They can decide who comes and goes in your Microsoft team, even delete the team. Whereas a member can only collaborate on content, add files, edit them, delete them, and some additional capabilities. But I want Alex to become an owner. In case I'm ever on leave, Alex can pick up the task to manage this team and also ensure the right people are being added at the right time. Selecting Add, our team is now ready to go, and Alex also has access. And now we need to consider another Teams acronym, channels. Think of channels as dividers in a filing system. They allow you to divide up your Microsoft team into relevant areas and split the conversations. Some people only use one channel, but in doing so, it can mean that it's really busy in your single channel. Lots of files and folders, lots of conversations with your team that will be much better split out into different channels, ensuring later on you can get back to the right piece of content in the right channel. As we can see, we have one channel, general conversations. There's always a requirement to have a minimum of one channel in a team, but we can now add other channels. So as our project progresses through different phases, we have dedicated areas for those files and those conversations. By selecting the three dot menu on our team, we can select Add Channel, and we can give the channel a name and also a description. With that now done, we can decide about the security of our channel, and there are three options here. Now, if you're working on a project, you'll often choose Standard. That means that everyone on your Microsoft team can use this channel and will see it in their channel list. With that now selected, you'll see a new option to recommend that people show this channel in their channel lists. Microsoft Teams has now become pretty good at hiding channels. Some people may not see them easily. By checking this box, we can recommend that this channel is shown on the left-hand rail in Microsoft Teams. If it's often used, I would check this box. If it's not, I may not check it to ensure the focus stays on other channels in our team. Select Create and our channel is now ready to go. And you can also create more channels. But do be aware there is a 1,000 channel limit in a Microsoft team. Not that you'd really need 1,000 channels. But the way we structured our project is how often we see people we work with all across the globe. We now have a dedicated project for the team and channels to help split out the conversations and files, whether based on project phases or elements in your project. You can create the channels that you need really easily to structure your conversations. But now we've got our channels set up, I also want to add other members of our project team. Alex is an owner, as we've seen earlier, but my project team are not yet invited. It's always a good idea to invite them once you've configured your team and added all your channels, to make sure you've got the right structure to get started with. To add other people into your Microsoft team as a team owner, head over to your team on the left-hand side and select Add Member. Once again, type in your colleague's name, and it can be multiple people that you find in this dialog. With my team now added here, we can now decide if they're members or owners. But as they're working on the project and contributing, they won't take the role as an owner, rather as a member. Go ahead, select Add, and your project team will get access to the Microsoft team in the left-hand rail of Teams, and they will see it immediately when you've added them in. If you made a mistake or want to remove one of your project team, maybe they'd change role or leaving the company, you could also select the three dot menu again on your team name, head over to Manage Team, head up to Members, and now you can decide who in your team should also be removed. To do that, all we need to do is click on the X on the right hand side, and that will then remove that individual from our Microsoft team. So team owners are always in control of adding and removing people from the Microsoft team itself. Let's not forget one of the powers of Teams that people often overlook. We are simply swamped with emails. Too many emails in a day, we can lose focus on what we're working on. It can be really distracting. Also, what happens when your project team changes? You get a new project team member. Do you have to forward them 50 or 60 emails? Let them know what happened over the last couple of months? I often see that working with some of our customers. And that, of course, can be changed. By using these posts inside of your channel, you can also share posts with your team, meaning as you add people to your team later, they'll also be able to browse back to all the original or posts that have been created previously and catch up on those. And your team can also react and reply to posts inside of your team. But how do we go and share posts? Well, we can go down to click on Start a Post in any of your channels, and you'll get an editor much like you've seen in email before, a subject line and the ability to add a message. I'm going to go ahead and add in both so we can see then what can happen inside of our team's post. With that now done, we can see a subject line and the message itself. By selecting Post, it will now post inside of our Microsoft team, and people could pick up on this when they next look at the Microsoft team itself. But this is a great update. I want to notify my project team of this update by giving them an alert inside of Microsoft Teams. And you can also do that in any of your posts, but do use this sparingly. If you tag them in every single post, you'll find they often won't read all of the posts. It'll become pretty annoying for them. But in this scenario, what I'm now going to do is tag them. So all we need to do is anywhere in your message, just add the @ character. You'll see now I'm able to select any of our team members and tag them inside of this message, just like we would inside of Microsoft Outlook. But instead, type in the team name as Greenspace Project. You'll see it shows Greenspace Project here. Left clicking, this will now tag all of your team members and owners, alerting them to this new post in your Microsoft Teams channel, giving it visibility really quickly. Selecting post, that's now been added into the channel, and that now means that other people in the Microsoft team can react to it using reactions. Alternatively, they can click on reply and reply in line, just like they would with any of your emails that you're sending to your project team. But we now know that these conversations are a great way to keep all of your project communications in one single place. And also using channels, we split out the conversations relevant to the right channel, ensuring that when your colleagues want to get back in a few months to the right post, they'll know where it's stored rather than have them in one single channel. If you're finding this tutorial helpful and want to take things even further, why not check out our Microsoft Teams Masterclass? It's designed to help you and your team master how you manage your files across Teams and SharePoint in the right way. We'll learn more about setting up the best structures, best practices, and how to avoid common mistakes that slow teams down and can cause you problems. And if you need personalised help to get the most out of Microsoft 365, why not reach out to us here at Your 365 Coach? We've helped teams around the world transform how they collaborate, and we'd love to help you do the same. Just visit the link in the video description to find out more. But I know what you may be thinking. What then happens when you receive emails from clients or suppliers or your peers that you want to share with your team? Well, inside of Outlook, you can share your emails to Microsoft Teams and add them into your conversations just like we did with a post. I'm using a new version of Outlook, but this is also supported in the classic version of Microsoft Outlook too. I'll go ahead in this email, select the apps button and select share to Teams. In a dialog that appears, we can now search for channels and teams and even chats and conversations with my peers. Let's now go ahead and select the procurement channel. We've had recent conversations in our Greenspace project. You'll see in the preview window, we see all of the information that Alex shared on the tariff increases that are applying across the world. This is helpful because our procurement team will want to know what these tariff increases are. I'll also add a short message above this email to describe it so the team are aware what it relates to. With that now done, I'm going to go ahead and click on share. And this email will wing its way over to Microsoft Teams in real time. Heading back into our Microsoft team and now opening the procurement channel, we now see that the post, which includes the email that Alex sent to me, is shown both to me and the whole team. It includes all the tariff information and it allows the team members to once again react to this, as well as also being able to also reply in line and confirm what could happen with these tariffs for their relevant different areas of the project. So sharing an email into Microsoft Teams into the conversations is an ideal way to continue the conversation or even use it as a point of record. So when your teams need to refer back to it later, they'll easily be able to do that in Microsoft Teams. But it's important to remember that when you're working in Microsoft Teams, it comes with a dedicated file storage area powered by Microsoft SharePoint. What you'll easily be able to do is in any of your channels, select the Files button and you'll be taken to a dedicated folder for that particular channel. Again, it's helpful because when using multiple channels, you can now organise your files in the right places to get back to quickly versus storing them in one single channel with lots and lots of subfolders. And there's a couple of ways to work with your files here. You can either work with your files directly through Microsoft Teams by creating new files. Selecting a new button and then selecting Word document, we can give your document a new name. And it then opens Microsoft Word to allow me to begin editing my file directly through Microsoft Teams. By now adding my Project Greenspace weekly status update, this will be saved using autosave, meaning me and my colleagues can get back to this document quickly and even edit it in real time. Closing this document down, you'll see it's stored in our general conversations for the Microsoft team that we can easily get back to quickly. But what if you're working with files on your local computer, want to bring them into the Microsoft team? Simply click on Upload, browse to Files or Folder, and then you can add the relevant files into your Microsoft team. We have information here on our marketing approach and marketing brief relating to Project Greenspace. So I'll upload them into our Microsoft Teams files area so me and my colleagues can get back to quickly. It's all powered by SharePoint, giving you version control across all of your files, editing them in real time, and being able to restore them from a recycle bin if you or your team accidentally delete them. It's a lot more powerful than sharing files on your desktop, and even that of a file server too. So 2 simple ways to work with your files in your Microsoft team. And what about taking notes in Microsoft Teams? Well, there are a lot of different options now in Microsoft 365 to take notes. By default, the Notes tab in any one of your channels will take you into a OneNote notebook. It is effectively created here as part of your Microsoft team. You and your team have access to this shared notebook. You could of course make changes to it, adding pages and sections so you and your team could collaborate on. For example, I've got some meeting notes from a meeting that we took recently, and I can really easily paste them straight into OneNote. Me and my team can get back to them really quickly and also make changes because we all have access. But I know many of you use Microsoft Loop, and also is it possible to create a Loop workspace of all of your current meeting notes? And at the moment, there is no synchronization between Teams and Loop, but for the moment we can head to Microsoft Loop on the web through loop.cloud.microsoft in a web browser. You want to create a new workspace, select Create New and New Workspace, and we can give it a name similar to our Microsoft team. So we can now add in your team members' names to the Share Your Space dialog, but by typing in the Microsoft team name, you'll see it doesn't find any results. So at the moment, you'll need to add in your team member's name and keep it up to date with any content stored in Microsoft Loop. So now I'm going to go ahead and type in my colleague's name. Matthew, Alex and others will all be granted access to this Microsoft Loop workspace. Then by creating our workspace, we'll now be given the ability to add pages. And in this scenario, I'll go ahead and add in the meeting notes and paste them into our Loop page. And we've got all the information stored here. But we can also take then the URL of our workspace and add it as a tab in Microsoft Teams. So me and the team can get back to this Loop workspace really quickly. So to do that, I'll click on the status page, which gets updated and provides a great insight into your Loop workspace for your team. And I'll simply copy the web address shown here. And heading back into Microsoft Teams, we'll click on the plus button at the top of any of my channels. And now I'll go ahead and select a website tab and very simply paste in the URL. For the name, I'll overtype website and I'll type in Loop Workspace, now allowing my team to see it here. I'll leave the box checked to post to the channel about this tab, so the team know I've added it as a tab in our General Conversations channel, and now our Loop Workspace tab appears here. By left clicking, there's a change in Microsoft Teams. It doesn't open in Teams, but instead takes us on the web for a web browser tab to access Microsoft Loop. The team then can access meeting notes or other content we've shared inside a Loop and use it as our note-taking experience rather than OneNote. It then brings a question: why would we have notes in a Loop workspace? Well, you could also delete this Notes tab by clicking the drop down and selecting Remove. We'll remove this tab permanently away from our channel. So now we only see Posts, Files and Loop Workspace. But it's best to make those decisions early on than transitioning from OneNote to Loop, because that could cause confusion to your team. But very easily now we've created a link to Microsoft Loop, housing our meeting notes and more that you can get back to from Microsoft Teams really quickly. But we also need a place for planning in our Microsoft team. So I'm going to click on the three-dot menu and add a channel. And once again, it's a standard channel, ensuring all my team have access, and I'm going to recommend it shown because that will include information relating to our plan. But as you may be aware, Microsoft Planner now has new capability, Planner Premium. And now with new enhancements in Microsoft Teams, we can take advantage of that. Selecting the plus icon to add a tab, and then selecting Planner or searching for the word Planner, you can now add Planner as a tab in your Microsoft team by selecting Save it'll create a planner tab, but you'll now need to create your new plan. By selecting create a new plan, you can now choose from both a basic plan, which we were limited before, but as I've got a planner premium license, I can select premium and I can now create a plan. I can also select from a range of templates shown here at the bottom of the dialog. So I'll select a project management template and a premium plan and then use template. Selecting create will now have a new planner premium plan inside of our Microsoft team, and our team members will also have access to it and can be assigned tasks directly into Planner Premium. And after a few minutes, our new planner is available in our Microsoft team. As you mentioned, we can now begin to open our tasks from this template, and I can begin to assign these to my colleagues that also have access to the Microsoft team. So it's a great way to begin planning all of your activities. And inside of Planner Premium, we also have a timeline view showing all our tasks across a visual timeline that you and your team can also explore. We also see these charts to track tasks, and we also can see where the work has been allocated to in both hours and also focusing on the given number of tasks. So we can now see this new experience in Microsoft Teams with the integration directly with Microsoft Planner Premium can now improve your planning of what we had previously inside of the basic version of Microsoft Planner. And also, let's take advantage of a new feature in Microsoft Teams, allowing you the ability to group your teams and channels in a way that suits you. The problem with Teams is, as your channels grow, it can become really overwhelming, and some of them will even auto-hide. What we can now do though is create groupings in Microsoft Teams to group the channels that are best suited to you. By going to the top of Teams and selecting New Items, now go ahead and select New Section. And I've typed in Green Space Project. Selecting Create, you'll now see an area at the top of Microsoft Teams. And if I only use a few of these channels quite regularly in the Microsoft team and want quick access to them, I can very simply left click and drag under Green Space Project for both general conversations and planning as well. That now means I have quick access to the general conversations in the project and can also add other channels that may also be in different Microsoft teams, creating an area that's personal to me and to allow me to get back to my content across all those channels really quickly. So certainly take advantage of new sections capability in Microsoft Teams to organise the way that you want to work in Teams. So there you have it. We've walked through how to create and structure your team, manage communication with posts, file emails, organise your files properly, and even use Planner Premium for your task management, and Loop and OneNote to support your project meetings. So whether you're just starting out or leveling up on how your team works in Microsoft Teams, you now have the confidence to make it work for you and your team. And here's the thing, over 90% of people who watch our videos don't subscribe. If this video has helped you, hit that subscribe button and join us every week for more tutorials just like this one. We're here to help you become more productive with the tools you already have. And other than that, well, I look forward to seeing you in the next one.